Hello, my name is Bo Carnes and I run the freeCodeCamp.org YouTube channel. We're currently the biggest active software channel on YouTube. Our channel focuses on posting long, in-depth courses, and we post these courses from a variety of contributors. In this tutorial, I'm going to share insights into YouTube's algorithm. I'll share tips for creating your own software YouTube channel, and we're going to hear advice from a variety of successful YouTube creators. Even if you're new to software, you can benefit a lot from starting a YouTube channel. In fact, most of the tips and advice I share in this video will be applicable to any type of YouTube channel, not just software channels. I think starting a YouTube channel can benefit developers at any stage of their career. You don't have to be an expert. You don't even have to know anything about a topic to teach someone about the topic. All you have to have is an interest and a desire to learn. Actually, that's just what I did when I started my first JavaScript training channel. So I created my own YouTube channel. This was before freeCodeCamp, and I had JavaScript tutorials. I didn't really even know that much about JavaScript before I started the channel. I would learn about the topic so I could make a video about the topic. And the process of making the videos turned me into an expert. And then when I went to get a job, I was able to point to my videos to show that I knew what I was doing, and it helped me get a job. Before you start a channel, you need to decide the goal of your channel. Your goal can have an impact on a lot of things about your channel. So here are some common goals, which are not mutually exclusive. Some people want to help others learn. You may want to build a body of work that will lead to other career opportunities. You may want to give yourself a reason to learn, or maybe promote a paid resource. Maybe you just want to make money through YouTube ad revenue, sponsorships, and affiliate links. Also, you may want to promote your brand or company. When thinking about the videos you want to make on your channel, and you may think about how there's already a lot of videos on the exact same topic. But don't worry about that, because there are tons of different learners in the world. So there's got to be a learner out there that can learn best from your teaching style. Also, and I can't stress this enough, you don't have to already know about a topic to create a video about a topic. Creating a video is a great opportunity to learn. You're going to want to try to figure out what type of software channel you want to start. I categorize software YouTube channels into 4 types. We have tutorial, informational, live coding, and software entertainment. I'm going to give some examples of all of these, interspersed with tips from some of the creators. Different types of channels, different types of videos appeal to different demographics. For instance, a software entertainment channel is going to appeal to a wider demographic than a software tutorial channel. So you need to keep your goals in mind so you don't get discouraged if you see other videos getting way more views than your videos. It just depends on what you're trying to accomplish for your channel. So a tutorial channel primarily features software tutorials. This is the best type of channel if you want your channel to help you get a job or if you want to sell paid courses. This style is sometimes less focused on your personality than other channels. So you can see here are some top tutorial channels and some good examples of what tutorial channels are like.
So as far as tips, people ask me this all the time, and I don't want to say I don't like the question, but I don't feel like I have a great answer because there's no special formula. I didn't do promotion, so I don't have much advice on promotion. What I did was just make videos. I was consistent. I think that's the best advice I can give, is to be consistent. And it's going to be discouraging at first. You're going to get no views, and you're going to make no money, and you're spending your time. But the more consistent you are, if you're making good content and you're uploading, every week, people are going to start to come. So that's the best advice I can give. And don't stop, because if you stop making content, your channel is just going to go to shit. And even at my level, at whatever 800,000 subscribers, if I don't make a video for a month or 2 months, my analytics are just going to be a straight down slope. And it's very stressful. Doing YouTube, especially full time, is very stressful, because if you if you don't have any ideas that week, and you can't make a video, your analytics go down, and that's your livelihood, So it can be stressful, but you want to be consistent. Another thing is be yourself. Don't try to copy people. It's okay to watch other people and get ideas from them, but don't like straight up copy someone because it's already out there. You want to be unique. You also don't want to be fake. I know that there are a lot of fake people on YouTube, and a lot of them are successful, like the family vloggers and stuff that are all giddy and happy and stuff, and then they're miserable off camera. You want to be yourself, For me, I like to talk to you guys like I talk to my friends. I don't jump on camera like, hey guys, we're gonna build an application today and la-di-da, and that's just not my personality. You guys would think I was friggin' high or something. Is he back on drugs if I acted like that? So I just think that being yourself is genuine, and people pick up on that. And I think that ultimately that's one of the things that's helped me out the most. And then the last one I have is to find your niche. And basically what I mean is keep your content, all in the same area. Don't do a development video or a tutorial one day, and then the next day do your favorite movies, and then the next day do a family vlog, because people tend to subscribe to channels for a specific thing. For me, it's usually tutorials. I also do videos on, like videos like this, self-help, help you in your professional life, help you be more successful, come up with ideas, stuff like that. So you want to just kind of stick to a certain realm. Don't go all over the place, because people won't know what to think of you or why they're watching you, unless you just have a fantastic personality and it doesn't matter what you do. There are some channels like that, but I've seen a lot of channels fail because they're just all over the place. So, you just want to find what you're good at and stick to it.
An informational channel has informational videos about software development. They usually focus on soft skills and other information that developers should know. And just so you know, sometimes you see multiple styles in one channel. You'll see tutorial videos and informational videos on the same channel. But here are some examples of some good informational channels to kind of give you an idea of what type of videos you'll see on those channels.
Hey guys, this is your boy Joe back at it again, codingphase.com. Your boy's back, and I done did it again one more time. Listen, people love it, people hate it. It is what it is. What do I do here on YouTube? Very simple, okay? I just come here, be myself. I talk to you guys just like I'm talking to my friends, okay? I'm just having fun with it, okay? That's the number one thing that I do on YouTube. Have fun, okay? Second thing is I actually help people get jobs by giving them advice and telling them the things that help me, okay? And even things that I've seen in the industry that I feel like nobody told me, so I should tell others about it, so like that they can be more prepared for job interviews, what type of programming languages they should focus on, how to get into certain jobs, right? How to make your life easier as a junior developer. And that's what I do here, right? It's a informational slash, tutorial slash, lifestyle type of channel, okay? If you like that type of content, then definitely check out Coding Phase, right? Because that's what we do here. We try to help people out, and at the same time, we just let people know like what we do, okay, and how we have seen growth. We went from parking lot attendant, working in a warehouse, doing all this other stuff, all the jobs that you could think of, right? I see people all the time come up and be like, man, I'm a Uber driver. Hey, I'm doing deliveries. I'm doing this and that. And I'm like, bro, at the end of the tunnel, there's a light. Trust me, I saw it, right? I learned how to code. I did everything that I needed to do. I put in those hours, so you can also get there too, okay? Now, by the way, for anybody that wants to get into this whole system, this whole world, this ecosystem of YouTube, my advice is be yourself. Don't copy from anybody, okay? Have fun, all right? That's number one. I think that should be the number one thing for everybody, because I'll be honest with you, YouTube is not easy, right? It's a lot of hours, a lot of work that you have to put in, right? Don't kill yourself over it. But have fun with it, okay? Don't take things too serious. Sometimes we overthink things. When I first got into YouTube, I've been doing this for like 4 years before I was even starting to get into YouTube, right? But because I was so worried about what are the people gonna think about me? Do I sound smart enough? Is this a topic that I can be talking about? Now I don't care. Now I just come in and have fun. Okay, and that's my advice to you guys. Just come in, have fun, enjoy yourself. Don't copy from what other people are doing, right? If you do that, you're gonna be successful. It might take you a little bit longer, right? But it's not about getting the numbers up. It's not about getting 1 million subscribers. It's not about having, a whole bunch of money. It's not about that. It's about having fun. Like, one thing that I can tell you guys on my community is we have fun. We do live streams and we have fun. We enjoy ourselves. You have a long day of coding, right? You want to come home, you want to relax. That's what we do at codingphase.com. We give you advice, we help you out, but at the same time, we make sure that the subscribers have fun. And if you want to get into YouTube, right, that's what you should do. Whoever it is, if it's 5 people, 10 people that's watching you, have fun with those 10 people. Okay, that's just how it is. At the end of the day, you will become successful, and just how anything else in life is, right? You put in the time, and at the end, the reward is there. All right. So anyways, guys, shout out to everybody that, supported me here on Free Code Camp, and love you guys, man. Stay tuned. If you want to check out my channel, check it out. Coding Phase. All right.
Another type is live coding. This type of channel mainly focuses on people live coding. Viewers can see the actual thought process that goes into creating a program. It can also be helpful to see how live coders solve problems in real time. Although some people are so good at it, it can almost seem as polished as a tutorial channel, like, for instance, the Coding Train. Live coding is great for building a community because you often get to communicate with viewers directly during a stream. And this is also a style that you commonly see live coding with other types of styles on the same channel.
So if you're interested in live coding, I've learned a few things, been live coding for a few years, and here's some of the advice that I think it'd be most helpful. On the technical side, don't worry about getting a fancy microphone or webcam. You can use the built-in webcam to get started, and the built-in mic. That's how I got started, and I stuck with that for a long time before I got anything else, and no one ever complained about the audio or video quality. When you actually do start live coding, I recommend just live coding whatever you're normally doing, whatever you're comfortable with. If you're doing a tutorial, you can live code that. If you're working on open source projects, live code that. It doesn't have to be something you're really good at. So if you just want to do a side project with some new technology, you can do that. When you are actually doing the live coding, do your best to explain what you're doing. I recommend setting aside a specific time for questions, for checking out the live chat, and a time for coding. I split it up with a Pomodoro session, so 25 minutes of coding and then 5 minutes of chat. If you try to look at the chat while you're coding, you end up not doing either one very well, and there's just too many interruptions. And you can't code very well like that. I recommend, if you can, try to show your face, because your facial expressions will convey a lot of your meaning, especially for your viewers who aren't native speakers to whatever language you're live coding in. I do recommend, though, that that's not an option for most people. I live coded for a long time without showing my face, and that was totally fine, and nobody said, "I want to see you." Okay, I just decided to do it because of being able to convey my meaning more. Try to keep in mind that people watching might be completely new and have no clue what's going on. So if they ask a question that might seem like maybe like almost like a joke, that it's so basic, don't laugh at it. They might be new and it might be a legitimate question. And if you laugh, then you're going to just ruin that person's experience of coding for that day. And you set the tone for your stream. So if you stay positive, then the stream will be generally positive. If somebody goes negative in the chat, you don't even have to address it. You can just block them, or you can address it in a way that doesn't escalate the situation. If you respond with negativity, it'll cause more negativity. If you respond to a criticism that's pretty harsh with, thank you, and try to figure out what you can gain from that, then that's much more beneficial than, responding with something like defensive, right? So hopefully you do some live streaming, and good luck.
The final type is software entertainment. This type of channel has the potential for the most views. Creators use programming to create projects that are interesting to a very wide demographic. The videos focus more on the outcome of the program and not on the actual code used. So this type of channel, like I said, it reaches a very wide demographic. You don't actually have to be interested in coding to really enjoy watching the videos on these channels. So once you decide on your goals and the type of videos you want to create, you're going to have to do some setup and planning. Here's some things you're going to have to do. So this is a screenshot from my personal Robot Family YouTube channel. First of all, I want to point off to the side, there's a bunch of accounts under one username. My email address, bocarnes@gmail.com, and we have a bunch of different accounts. These are brand accounts. So when you create your YouTube channel, it's good to create it as a brand account. This allows you to keep some separation between your personal Google account and your software YouTube channel. It's going to still use the same login as your Google account, so you don't have to keep track of another username and password. And then you can also add additional people as managers of the account. You're also going to have to determine your channel name. So in this case, it's Robot Family. I personally recommend using your name as your channel name. So like I would use the name Bo Carnes. Although you'll see in the examples I already showed you that a lot of people have had success using other names. But if you use your name as a channel name, it can help better associate you with your content. So you're also going to have to develop some things like your channel icon and your channel art, and then maybe a video watermark to appear at the bottom of each video that you're playing. So those things, you can either design them yourself, or you could consider maybe hiring someone off Fiverr.com or something like that. But you're just going to have to make sure you have all those things. You should also determine what kind of intro you want. Not everyone is going to have an intro, but you may want an intro that you have on all of your videos. One piece of advice, keep it under 5 seconds. This should be really short because if your intro is too long, people just get bored and just kind of click off your video before they even get into your video. You also may want to consider other consistent things you want to add to your videos to set them apart. Like you may have a sign-off line or a prop, or maybe you rap in all of your videos, something like that to make your videos stand apart. So once you've done the high-level planning for your channel, it's time to start thinking about the specific videos you want to make. The first step is brainstorming. So just write down every idea you can possibly think of. After that, you just have to start narrowing down those ideas to the best ideas. And eventually, you'll come up with a good list of videos that will be good to create. So once you figure out what specific video you want to create, you're going to have to do some researching. Because remember, you don't already have to know about the topic beforehand, but sometimes it can be good. If you already know about the topic beforehand, you won't have to do as much researching. But if you don't know about the topic beforehand, you're going to have to do quite a bit of researching so you can make the video as good as possible for the audience. And you're most likely going to have to write a script for the video. And if you're making a coding tutorial, you're going to have to write the code for the video beforehand. Recording and editing. Here are two of the most important things when it comes to recording. First of all, use a good microphone. And second of all, if you're going to show code on screen, make it as large as possible. If you have bad audio or tiny code, it's going to cause people to stop watching immediately before they even see the real content of your video. It may be hard to believe, but almost 1/3 of people watching coding tutorials on the FreeCodeCamp channel watch on a mobile phone. People are watching from all over the world, and so you want to make sure your content is accessible as possible, and so make sure the code is as large as possible. So for audio, almost any USB microphone will be better than the built-in mic on your computer. If you can afford it, consider one of these microphones. We have the Blue Snowball, the Audio-Technica AT2005 USB. That's what I'm recording this on right now. Also, the Blue Yeti. So these are all good options, kind of from the more entry level to more advanced level. But if you can't afford a mic, do some tests with recording audio on a cell phone. So depending on what phone you have and what computer you have, there's a chance that audio recorded on your cell phone could be better than audio on your computer. So you would have to record the audio separately and then just add it in editing later. If you're going to show yourself on video like I'm doing now, the cheapest way is just to use a webcam or your cell phone's camera. A lot of cell phones actually have pretty good cameras. But if you want to take things to the next level, consider one of these cameras. But no, these cameras are probably not necessary if your channel mainly consists of coding tutorials. But we have a few Canons, this Panasonic, and these are all good options. A good camera is especially important if you are creating informational or software entertainment videos. You also may want to include screen recording in your video. If you're using a Mac, I recommend using QuickTime for both screen recording and video recording, and it should be pre-installed on your computer already. If you're using Windows, there's a shortcut key to begin recording your screen just anytime. You just press Windows key, Alt, R. If you want to show video of your screen at the same time as video of you talking, you can use OBS software. OBS is a great open source software that a lot of live streamers use. Although I actually use Final Cut Pro to make my face here appear on top of this video. When you're recording your screen, always make sure the main content takes up as much room on the screen as possible. Remember, a lot of people are actually watching coding tutorials on mobile phones, so all text should be as big as possible. You need a very good reason to show a window that is not full screen. When recording a tutorial, it can be helpful to use two screens. You record one of the screens for the video and use the other screen for your script and completed code. So here's something that some people do to make their coding tutorials even more polished. First, record the whole tutorial with the screen capture where you're talking over the screen capture, and then transcribe the audio. Then go in and make some edits, like maybe make some things more clear, add some jokes or something, and then re-record the audio, and then put that audio, the re-recorded audio, over the initial video. And then it's gonna look a lot more polished than it did before. You should probably be editing your videos to make them flow smoother and to edit out any mistakes. You can use editing to edit out any ums or pauses or loud noises, and it could just make things seem just a lot more professional. This is especially important if you're creating some software entertainment videos or even informational videos. But pretty much everyone should be doing some editing. For very simple editing, you can use iMovie on Mac or Movie Maker on Windows. But these programs are very limited. I personally use Final Cut Pro, but that is a little pricey. Here's a few other free video editors that offer more features than iMovie or Movie Maker. We have OpenShot, VideoPad, and Lightworks. After you decide what software to use for editing, watch a few tutorials to learn about the basic functionality of the software. Another option is to hire someone to edit your videos. Even if you already know how to edit videos, hiring an editor can save you a lot of time if you can afford it. So you're going to have to create thumbnails and titles. You can have the world's best video, but nobody will find out about it if they don't click on the thumbnail. To grow your channel, it is important to create quality content, but it's almost equally important to use thumbnails and titles that will cause people to click on your video. Thumbnails are important for all videos, but in my experience, thumbnails are more important for software entertainment channels, and the titles are actually more important for software tutorial channels. So here's some tips for designing thumbnails. Some of these come from the YouTube Creator Academy, which has some pretty good tips. So first, you should brand your thumbnails by using consistent colors, fonts, and graphics and stuff like that. Also, you should use the rule of thirds. This will help you compose interesting and dynamic images. So the rule of thirds is where you divide the image up into thirds and you put all the key things in the image on the line that would be a third the way into the image. The next thing is to design for mobile and desktop. Thumbnails are going to show up in different sizes across YouTube, and sometimes people will embed your video, so check to make sure your thumbnail looks good in multiple sizes that it could show up on. And then finally, get ideas from similar channels. You can look for channels that are similar to what you're trying to do and see kind of what the general idea and styles that they use, and that could give you some ideas. Although you do want to make sure that your thumbnails are distinct to your channel. So next, image editing software. You're going to need software to create your thumbnail. So the top image editing software is Photoshop. To use it, you must sign up for a monthly subscription service. And so there are some cheaper alternatives. So the most popular free image editing software is GIMP. I did use GIMP for years, and eventually I decided I needed something more user-friendly, so I purchased Affinity Photo. That's this third icon here. The features and the user experience were much better than GIMP, so I was pretty happy to be able to do that. It also has a one-time cost, unlike Photoshop that has the subscription model. Another good option is Pixelmator, which is kind of similar to Affinity Photo. They're both one-time costs that give you quite a bit of features. Choosing a title. It's best to pick a title that people are searching for. There are two main ways to find out what people are searching for. We have YouTube Search Autocomplete and Google Trends. So let me show you how to use Google Search Autocomplete to figure out what you should title your video. Let's say you're creating a video about JavaScript frameworks. Just go over to YouTube. I have the dark mode on. And go to the search box, and I'm just going to type in JavaScript frameworks. Now, what you can do is see what things are being suggested. So right after JavaScript frameworks, it says JavaScript frameworks 2019, JavaScript frameworks explained, JavaScript frameworks tutorial. Now, these are all words that people are commonly searching for. So now, because of this autocomplete, we know what people are searching for, what words people are adding with JavaScript frameworks when they search for JavaScript frameworks. So in this case, maybe I'll call my video JavaScript Frameworks Explained -2019. Okay, one other tip. I am signed in right now, but generally you want to do this on incognito mode. If you do it in incognito mode, then the search recommendations won't be based on your search history at all. Another way to figure out what people are searching for is on Google Trends. Let me show you how you would use this. Say you make this 4-hour Python course, and you're thinking about what should you title this? Should you title it Python course? Is that what people are searching for? Well, let's find out. So I'm going to go to trends.google.com. That's what I'm on now. And I'm going to search for Python course. And now I can add another search term. I can compare it to other search terms. So I'm going to compare Python course to Python tutorial. And then where it says web search here, I'm going to switch it to YouTube search. So now I'm seeing the relative popularity of different search terms on YouTube. So we can see here that Python tutorial is way more popular than Python course. So maybe I was thinking about calling my video Python course, but now after I see this Google Trends, I'm going to use the word tutorial instead of course, because obviously the word tutorial is way more popular than course when people are searching. And I can add as many comparisons as possible. Maybe I'm going to type in learn Python. Are people searching for the word learn Python? Well, not really, because Python tutorial is still way more popular. So this is a great way to figure out what people are searching for so you can title your videos appropriately. So I want to briefly talk about traffic sources, or where views come from. A traffic source is how a viewer found your video to watch. The traffic source breakdown for most channels on YouTube looks more similar to this. This is my Robot Family channel, and this is the freeCodeCamp.org channel. You can see most of the views on the Robot Family channel are coming from suggested videos. And that's where when someone's watching a video, and then on the side, there'll be recommended videos on the side, and then when people click those videos that are recommended on the side, that's a suggested video. Now you can see the number 2 spot is browse features. This includes many things, but the main thing browse features includes is the home screen. So when someone goes to youtube.com and they're signed into their account, YouTube will recommend specific things right on the homepage of YouTube, and that's browse features. So most channels on YouTube get most of their views from these things, suggested videos and browse features. However, you can see over on the freeCodeCamp side, we get most of our views from YouTube search. And I think this is pretty common for tutorial channels, because if someone's going to watch a tutorial, usually they know they want to watch a tutorial. Like, for instance, if someone's just watching like a funny cat video, and then suddenly on the side it says, watch this 5-hour JavaScript video. People generally aren't going to want to go directly from the funny cat video to the 5-hour JavaScript training video. So that's why YouTube search is, I think, more important for tutorial channels, but for a lot of the other channels, the suggested videos are going to be more important. And this is also why I think titles are more important for tutorial channels because of the search, and the thumbnails are more important for like software entertainment channels and software informational channels. The YouTube algorithm is what decides if your video is going to be promoted in different places, like if it's going to be promoted on search or if it's going to be recommended. And the YouTube algorithm is a mysterious thing. It's my belief that even YouTube engineers don't completely understand how it works. Basically, it's all based on machine learning and artificial intelligence. The people that program the algorithm, they just tell it the outcomes they want, and then the algorithm determines how to best achieve those outcomes. So I'm about to show you, I'm about to tell you the things I've figured out about how to get your video popular, but there could be exceptions to everything I'm about to tell you. This is just based on a lot of experience and a lot of research and things I've heard that other popular YouTubers have said. Okay, let's start with talking about what the algorithm doesn't care about. Asterisk. That just means that all these things the algorithm does care about a little tiny bit, but just not that much compared to what the algorithm does care about, which I'll be talking about next. So, the first thing is upload frequency. I've heard people say that creators must upload a video every few days with no breaks to really grow a channel. This seems like a myth to me. I've seen many channels with infrequent uploads that get a ton of views on each video, and I believe the YouTube algorithm does not care that much about upload frequency. Sometimes YouTube engineers will actually run studies to better understand how the algorithm works, and on an official YouTube channel aimed at creators, they discussed a study that showed that taking a break from creating videos does not impact the view count when a creator comes back from a break. So while upload frequency is not always correlated with how many views you get, it could impact whether a viewer will subscribe to your channel. If you haven't uploaded for a while, a user will be less likely to subscribe. Next is video tags. YouTube representatives have officially said that YouTube tags count as almost nothing when it comes to recommendations. Everything has some amount of impact, but this is one of the lowest impact items. So you don't have to spend too much time on the video tags. Although you might as well still put them in there because it has a very tiny impact. The algorithm looks for patterns. So once it determines that videos from your channel are often watched by a certain type of user, it will just keep recommending your videos to that type of viewer, no matter what the tags and the descriptions say. So it's possible that before the algorithm identifies a pattern for your channel, it will use tags as an identifier. Next, how well a previous video performed. In my experience, the performance of the previous video has very little impact on a subsequent video's performance. This is true both on my channel and in other channels I've observed. However, I think it could impact how quickly a video gets popular. So if a user just watched a video from your channel, the algorithm may be more likely to recommend a new video from your channel right after it was posted. But if not many users are going to click to watch it, and they don't watch for very long, the algorithm will quickly stop recommending that new video. On the other hand, if not many people watch your previous video, your video may not get recommended a lot at first. But if lots of people are clicking on it and they are watching it for a very long time, YouTube will start recommending it a lot. I've seen countless examples of extremely popular videos coming right after an unpopular video. Descriptions. These do matter to the algorithm a little bit. Just very little compared to click-through rate and average view duration, which is what I'm going to talk about later of what the algorithm does care about. According to YouTube, the first few lines of a description can be important, especially for searches. So you should fill the first sentence with as many relevant search terms as possible. When search terms are lower down in the description, they count less to the algorithm. A rookie mistake is to put links or ads as the first line in a description. While some big-name YouTube channels do this, that's because the algorithm has already figured out patterns for where to recommend their videos. For smaller channels, you should always put a keyword-rich descriptive sentence as the first line. But remember, even the best description can't make up for low click-through rates and low average view durations. Next thing is subscriber count. The algorithm is more likely to recommend your video to subscribers, so this does have some impact. But I often see very popular videos on channels with low subscriber counts and very unpopular videos on channels with high subscribers. If people don't watch your videos for a long time, it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have, because the algorithm is just going to quickly stop recommending your video to subscribers. Also, subscribers have to click the bell icon in order to be notified of every video. If they don't click the bell icon, then they may not really be notified of any video on your channel. However, there are benefits to having more subscribers. When users search, your videos will appear higher in the search results if they're subscribed to your channel. Also, the algorithm is heavily impacted by patterns. If a user clicks on every video from your channel that appears in the feed, then the algorithm will keep putting more videos from you in their feed. Average percentage of video viewed. This one can have an impact for shorter videos. If your video is just 1 minute long, it makes a difference what percentage of the video is viewed. But if you're posting hour-long tutorials, the percentage viewed is much less important. On the freeCodeCamp.org channel, we have a 4.5 hour long Python video with over 7 million views. Its average view percentage is 4.3%, but its average view duration is 11 minutes 20 seconds. Average view duration matters way more than average percentage viewed. Okay, this is the important stuff. What the algorithm does care about. It cares about click-through rate and average view duration. Basically just those two things. If your videos have a high click-through rate and high average view duration, nothing else matters. Your video will be popular. Click-through rate measures how often viewers watch the video after seeing the thumbnail on YouTube. you need to have a thumbnail and title that people will want to click on. Average view duration is how long people are watching your video on average. Your video needs to hold viewers' interest for as long as possible. I heard a popular YouTuber say that your video is almost always going to be popular if you have at least 7 minutes, you have an average watch time of at least 7 minutes. Now that's pretty hard to achieve, so it's like a lot of people aren't going to get to that 7-minute mark, but the closer you can get, the better.
Hey there, my name's RTC, or Candy, or Real Tough Candy, and I am the founder of the Real Tough Candy YouTube channel. This channel is a software-focused educational channel, with a little bit of entertainment thrown in, with a very big emphasis on web development, because everything is going to the web. There's just so much going on in that sphere that you could talk about it for a very long time. My goal with the channel is to simply make people better developers. Whether they're aspiring developers, they've been in the business for a few years, or they're tried and true, battle-hardened senior devs who have seen it all. My goal is to be part of their journey and make them better devs. I have videos spanning from awesome GitHub repos to my experiences with freelancing, to getting started with freelancing. I'm also the author of a few books and video courses. I've been producing videos as Real Tough Candy for about 2.5 years. If you're thinking about starting a software channel on YouTube, number one, I would say go for it. But I think my most important advice, and the thing I'd emphasize the most, is to do videos that you care about. Do topics that you care about. Otherwise, it just becomes another drudgery-filled task. Just, oh, time to do another video. Oh, this person's uploading 5 days a week. I guess I better catch up. You're gonna burn out, and I've done that. I've made that mistake of, trying to keep up with the algorithm or trying to keep up with other people in this niche. You just have to do it your way. And I've been going on camera more and more. I really don't like being on camera, but people like that. They want to see you, even if you are imperfect, which most of us are. And I know it can be very daunting. I'm always going to have a little bit of an aversion to being on camera, but it's what people like to see, and they like to see that you're human. I don't think you need to have a passion for it, but you should have an interest in it. That's really going to show in the videos that you make. I would love to see more creators on this platform doing software and web development stuff, whether it's tutorials, insights, just personal journeys. Those are really powerful too. Our personal journeys, especially if we're self-taught, so important, and I think important for the record. I hope to see your channel soon, and I'll see you in the next video.
While you don't have to be uploading all the time, it is good to have a consistent schedule. This helps people know that you're probably going to upload again pretty soon, so it's worth subscribing to the channel. Now, if you aren't going to publish very frequently, I would say it's probably better to have more substantial content. Like if you're going to create a 3 to 4 hour like Python tutorial, it's probably okay to upload maybe every month or two. But if you're gonna upload shorter content, like shorter informational content, you may want to upload more frequently, like once a week or twice a week, or maybe like 2 times a month or something like that. So consistency also kind of helps you to kind of get motivated. I know if you have a consistent schedule and you try to stick to it all the time, it will help you be motivated to continue with that schedule. To help with consistency, you should create goals for yourself. An effective goal is measurable, timed, and controllable. Measurable means that the goal should have a quantified component that lets you know whether you've reached it or not. Timed, just the goal should have a specific and realistic deadline. Controllable means that it should be an action you can perform rather than an outcome you want. For example, your goal may be to put out 1 video, measurable, per week, timed. Note that put out a video is an action you can perform, but reach 1,000 subscribers is not an action but an outcome. You should create goals that are ambitious but still doable. This will depend quite a bit on your stage of life. If you're a single person with no job, you'll be able to create much more content than a married person with 3 kids and a full-time job. When thinking about making money, you must know what your goals are. Now, some people just want to provide free learning resources and they're not really concerned about making money, but most people aren't able to invest time into creating resources unless they're compensated a bit. Here are a few common ways that your software channel can make you money. We'll go over all of these one at a time. For most people, the primary way a software YouTube channel will help you make money is through helping you get a new job or a raise. I already mentioned that starting a YouTube channel was really helpful for me when I went to get my first software developer job. And I've heard similar stories from a lot of different creators. So let's hear firsthand from Jesse Weigel about how live streaming helped him in his career.
Live coding was so helpful whenever I was looking for a job and going on interviews, which was unexpected to me. But seeing that I did the live coding, like on my resume, and being able to watch my shows, I think got me more interviews than anything else that I did. So employers already knew what they were getting when they called me in for the interview. Normally it's like, it's kind of a mystery what the person's really going to be like. You can't tell that much, from a resume or a portfolio. But being able to see my thought process while I'm coding made me a more attractive candidate because it took some of that question out of it. I was like, what are we getting into? So it's a big commitment when you hire somebody. So being able to show, my skills and my personality, my thought process, online through live coding was a big bonus and to potential employers. Also, when I went on the interviews, that I got asked about my live coding experience more than anything else. Everybody wanted to know about it. I guess it's something that it seems like a lot of other developers are curious about, or they wonder like how could you do that? Just the idea of being able to make mistakes in front of all those people, or being able to talk, so much while you're coding. And that's another aspect that was very helpful. When I actually did get an interview and I had to do a coding exercise, one of the big things that people are looking for is that, they don't want to know if you can just do the coding exercise. They want to know your thought process, your problem solving skills. So I already had so much practice at explaining what I was doing while I was doing it. Through live coding, so that was perfect. So when I went in there, it was totally normal for me to just say what I was thinking, as I was doing it. So in a very unexpected way, live coding definitely helped me get interviews and help me prepare for interviews.
The next way you can make money is through YouTube ad revenue. But you probably won't make that much money this way. Most channels earn between $1 and $2.50 US dollars per 1,000 views. But it is possible to earn less or more than that. So if you want to make $30,000 in a year, you may have to get 30 million views. The freeCodeCamp.org channel is ad-free. However, my personal Robot Family channel shows ads, and I generally get about $1 to $1.50 per 1,000 views for videos under 10 minutes, and $2 to $2.50 per 1,000 views for videos over 10 minutes. At 10 minutes, you are allowed to add mid-roll ads, and I was very surprised with how much extra money that made me. You only make money on video ads if people click on them or watch at least 30 seconds of the ad. If they click on skip ad, you make no money. Also, the amount of money you make per ad is dependent on the country that the viewer is in. Some viewers will make you more money than other viewers. This is one of the reasons there is such a big difference in how much money you can make. One of the more effective ways to make money on YouTube is to use your YouTube channel to help promote your paid courses. Mosh from the Programming with Mosh YouTube channel seems to do pretty well with this model. For this to work best, you need to create multiple, high-quality, complete courses. Release some full courses for free on YouTube and use those courses to advertise your paid courses. Some people go about this in the wrong way. They'll create this full paid course and just release just like a portion of it on YouTube, and hopefully that portion will encourage people to buy the paid course. That's the wrong way to do it. What you want to do is create 2 full-length courses. Release 1 full-length course on YouTube for free and use that to help promote your other full-length course. If you just release a small portion of your course on YouTube, it's not going to generate as many views. So not as many people are going to watch it. They're not going to want to watch just a partial course, so then you won't get very much promotion for your paid course. But if you release a full course on YouTube, then you're really going to get a lot of people watching that and a lot of views for your full paid course. Many people who create software tutorials have had success with Patreon. Let's hear some tips from Kevin Markham, who has had a lot of success with Patreon.
Hi there, my name is Kevin Markham and I teach data science in Python through my YouTube channel, which is called Data School. I've been using Patreon to support my page for about a year, and so I'd like to share 2 things with you. Number 1, who should start a Patreon page, and number 2, 7 quick tips for being successful on Patreon. So, who should start a Patreon page? Well, I would recommend that if you are interested in building a community and then delivering value to that community, then you are a good fit for using Patreon. If your only motivation is to make money, then I don't recommend Patreon. Quite frankly, unless you are legitimately famous, putting a link to Patreon from your YouTube channel page is not going to suddenly bring in a lot of money. Instead, doing well on Patreon requires a lot of work, and so unless you're really interested in doing that work and enjoy that work, it's not a good use of your time, and you're going to burn out, and that's not good for you or for your fans. Okay, let's move on to my 7 quick tips for being successful on Patreon. Tip number 1, deliver a lot of value to your audience for free before starting a Patreon page. The reason is this: very few people are going to support you financially unless you've already demonstrated to them that you can create great videos that they love. Tip number 2, try to build a following outside of YouTube so that you have more ways to communicate with your audience. Social media is one option for this, but even better is starting an email list and getting them to subscribe. Tip number 3, study successful Patreon pages and check out their rewards and how they describe the value they're offering. That will help you to refine your rewards and how you communicate your value proposition. Tip number 4, before you launch, draft your Patreon page and share it with some of your top fans to get their feedback. That'll help you to determine whether you're offering the right rewards and at the right prices. Tip number 5, when you launch, talk with your fans authentically about Patreon and why they should join. Give them some time to join, and you can remind them every now and again, but don't try to make them feel guilty for not becoming a patron. Tip number 6, once people join, build that community that we've been talking about. Create meaningful ways for you to interact with your patrons, and ideally give them ways to interact with each other. Tip number 7, deliver value to your patrons. Offer them bonus content and cool rewards. Do special things for them when you can. Thank them frequently, and above all else, prioritize them over the rest of your fans because they're supporting you financially. And keep doing this every single month, because Patreon is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, I hope these tips have been helpful to you. Good luck with your channel and with your Patreon page.
Many creators make money through video sponsorships. Caleb Curry has some great tips for making money through sponsorships.
Hey everyone, it's Caleb. Thank you both for having me. I'm going to be sharing with you guys how you can get sponsors for your content. I'm actually really excited that you reached out to me for this because I've tried various ways of monetizing my content. I've tried courses, I've tried monthly subscriptions, and for me, nothing has really clicked. Other creators have done a great job and that's awesome. They should keep doing that, but I found that my true skill is with these sponsorships. It's how I've made the majority of my income, and it's how I'm able to do YouTube as a full-time project. Now, how do you actually get that first sponsor? The number one way I have found that I was able to get sponsors, and I'm still getting sponsors today, is with a contact form on my website. Consider it a landing page, a lead page, whatever you want to call it, essentially a way a company can fill out the form, say what they're interested in, put their email, and click submit. When you have something like this on your website, you are able to control the flow of customers. So they're not being distracted by other things to click on. Yeah, they might go to other parts of your site, but if you put your stuff up on social media or other websites, you are competing against thousands of other people. But on your own site, you are the sole owner of that website, and you can control the experience on that website, which means you're going to get much higher quality leads, and the conversion is going to be much higher. If you get someone to check out that sponsorship page, they're very highly likely to fill out that form at the bottom. The second thing is that you can share this form with your audience or link to it on the homepage of your website. You don't want it to be the only thing people see, like, my goodness, this guy will not stop advertising his sponsorship opportunities. But you also don't want it to be hidden where a company would have to search for it. You want companies to be able to easily reach out to you in a professional way. And 3, go through the added effort to refine your niche and make your value proposition extremely clear. You should have a general niche. Maybe it's programming, or maybe it's web development or app development. Whatever it is, you start with that. In stage 3 of my little plan I have here, you refine that and get very clear about what a sponsor is going to get from sponsoring your series. Step 4 is to try to quantify the value that you're offering them. You don't want to scare them off with numbers. Like, if you're just trying to get a sponsor, you don't need to give them the ROI and the conversion rate of clicks and all. Just don't overwhelm them with information unless they specifically ask. But for your sake, and also for the sake of getting new sponsors, you should probably have some way to measure the performance of your advertisements, the performance of your videos. And what you can do is you can build tracking links in your description, and you can see what the click-through rate is. You know, maybe a video gets 10,000 views, 100 people click it, and 2 people sign up. You've essentially taken a view count and figured out how many signups that translates to. Now, it is vague, and different companies have different goals. Some are going to want signups and some are just going to want brand awareness. So you gotta be open and flexible, but you should ultimately have some perspective on how well your channel does and how well a sponsor is going to perform on your channel. So for all of my sponsors, they go through a trackable link that I can see how many clicks they've gotten. Step 5 is start to grow your sponsorship base. Obviously, anytime you can get a repeating sponsor, that is great. But being open to different sponsors without just taking anything is going to be good for your brand as well, because that gives a larger variety to your content and it allows you to be creative in the types of advertisements, which, by the way, try to make your ads creative. I do skits. I'm excited in my ad spots. You don't want to be one person in your videos and a totally different person in your ad spots. They should be the same thing. So step 5 is to grow that sponsorship base and just get more experience doing it, and start increasing your prices to where you can actually make a substantial amount of money. And now we'll move on to step 6. And for me, I'm somewhere between 5 and 6, so this is exactly where I'm at right now. Step 6 is to try to productize or standardize your sponsorships. So far, I've just kind of been working with whatever the company's going for. You know, I'm trying to meet their needs in an exact way. But now I'm to the point where I'm getting lots of sponsorship requests, and I can start saying no on the regular. I can also increase prices a lot because of the demand. So as an example, you could say, hey, you can get 20 to 30 second ads embedded in my videos. You can get 8 of them for this many dollars. Once you productize your stuff, it makes it easier to automate the process and make your life a whole lot easier. So I'm refining my contact me form to have those options. The company can say exactly what they want, and it takes the mental stress off of me to have to come up with a brand new idea every time a company reaches out to me. So those are just the basics. If you want more details, I'm releasing more entrepreneurship content on my channel, as well as app development and where those two come together. I'd love to have you guys. I'm not gonna advertise, but go check out my channel. I'm just playing. Thank you, and let me know what you guys think. What tips would you have for sponsorships?
Promoting can be challenging if you're just starting out. You must think about where your target audience could come across your videos. Here's some ideas. You can post to relevant subreddits. Or you may want to submit to a coding newsletter like the Code Newbie newsletter. Or maybe you can share on programming forums, such as the freeCodeCamp.org forum. Now, note about forums, it's more appropriate to share on forums that you're already active on. For instance, if you're already active on the freeCodeCamp.org forum, that would be a great place to share your videos. But if there are other forums that you're already active on, that could be a better place to share your videos. Another option is to get your video published on a more popular channel. For instance, the freeCodeCamp channel, we publish tutorials from a lot of different contributors, and if your goal is just to get your video in front of as many people as possible, the freeCodeCamp channel could be a good option. So if you want to submit a video to me, here's my email address, bo@freecodecamp.org. We may be able to publish your video on our channel. Also, maybe you'll find a different channel that you can submit your videos to if you want to kind of take advantage of an audience that already exists. Okay, let's just end with some miscellaneous tips. First of all, consider adding in-screens to your videos. They can lead to many more views, especially if you create shorter videos. On my personal Robot Family channel, I get 6% of views from in-screens. If a video is part of a playlist, always link to the playlist in the description. There's nothing worse than coming across a really great video that's part of a series, but then you can't figure out how to get to the other videos in that series. So playlist in the description. If you have already created a full course with lots of individual videos, consider combining them into one long video. If you really want to post the videos individually, never upload them all at once. Make sure to space out each video by at least a few hours. One per day would be best, because if you upload them all at once, they may appear in the wrong order on your channel, and it's better for them to appear in the correct order. It makes it easier for people to find the right video in the series. Next, always expect that each video will be the first video from your channel that many people will see. If you want to grow your channel, try to maximize the number of new people who are stumbling upon it. Some creators make the mistake of just making videos for their subscribers. This results in videos that may be confusing for someone new to the channel. You should always include a quick update about where people can get prior knowledge expected, especially if viewers need prior knowledge from other videos on your channel. Next, never include background music in a coding tutorial. It's often distracting. If people want to listen to music while watching your tutorial, they can turn on their own music. Obviously, this doesn't apply for a software entertainment video and other types of videos, but a coding tutorial never use background music. You may want to use it in an intro or an outro, but not during the main part of the video. Next, if you are including a series name in the title, it should be at the end of the title. For instance, if you have a video that's called JavaScript Tutorial -lists, like maybe you're creating this JavaScript series and you're on a video that's just about lists, put the word lists at the beginning of the title and the word JavaScript tutorial at the end of the title. Okay, now you pretty much know everything you need to know to get started with your own software YouTube channel. And if you have any other tips or questions, just leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.